positive. And I know good will conquer evil. Jah is here amidst the battle. And I know love will overcome hatred. Oh yeah, we're living in the positive. Oh children, let not your hearts be troubled. Wipe away your tears and fears. Cause I know love will conquer evil. Oh, oh yeah.
Dominica is rightfully dubbed as the nature island of the world because of its lush greenery, clean rivers, beautiful waterfalls, scenic underwater diving, and other enjoyable aspects of ecotourism. We in Dominica truly live in a splendid paradise. It is this lush beauty and the childhood memories of a peaceful and tranquil upbringing in Dominica that has motivated criminologist and sociologist Dr. Peter K.B. Seja to devote much of the last 15 years of conducting research to determine how best to maintain Dominica's most peaceful status for the longest possible time. Growing up in the village of Trafalgar, in the splendid Roseau Valley, Dr. Seja enjoyed aspects of life that he believes should be preserved for every future generation of Dominicans. His vision is to have for eternity Dominica maintain its rightful place in the world, not only as a nature island of the world, but as the peaceful nature isle of the world. But what are the prospects for this vision to become a reality? If indeed Dominica can maintain and even improve its peace and tranquility for eternity, what factors tell us whether or not this is possible? In other words, what are the prospects and the concerns for an established peaceful nature isle?
Dr. Peter Seja has been involved in Dominica in several communities and with the police to address the crime situation and also working with the different communities on the problems with youth as it relates to crimes, and some of his work, both in the United States and Dominica. In particular, he did extensive work in Granby, how you can lower the crime rate. More importantly, he has a new initiative right now, which is what he refers to as the peace industry, making Dominica a place where peace, would be an industry and promote Dominica. He is, coming to Dominica for, I think, 2 to 3 weeks, during which time he will be working with the communities that he worked with to follow up on his work, and for him to launch his new initiative, which has to do with peace as an industry.
I think the meritocracy would deal on the level of the community, how active they are involved in crime. And I think that is the way I would view it. With that strength of activity probably should be shown in communities that are more aggressive in their activity. And crime prevention should probably take it at our level where we are and then show it at a level where we are so as to curb the crime. But crime prevention there is definitely a need for crime detection and prevention. And I think, beyond that, I think it's a little above our level, and I think probably we can have things to a lesser level, less exposure of those.
Well, Chief, the film is not the only part of the workshop. Hopefully, at the end of the entire workshop, you will see and you understand how the whole thing comes together. But all I'm just saying is that sometimes people say, oh, we don't have a problem and we don't have to do that yet. And by the time they get there, it is so bad that it's almost too late.
Born and bred in Buffalo, New York, so is Officer Andre Scott. What do you think when you're growing up in the neighborhood, and I was each and every one of your age? I come from a very good neighborhood. At one time I saw my city as a very peaceful city. I'm thinking probably if maybe 20, 25 years ago, if someone like Dr. St. John, a criminologist, would have had a documentary 25 years ago to educate us about the prevention of crime, then my city wouldn't be in the turmoil it is. Now, I'm a police officer of 27 years, so there's nothing I have not seen.
Me as a young person, that is the time where we should look at these things and from the documentary we get in, put it into our practice, get the knowledge of it, and then talk to our peers among us at the primary level. So by the time it builds up, we already know what's happening already among us and our communities. So we can get our things together and then at least with the elderlies, help from the elderlies, and we could put some program in place to help to decrease, because I don't think we can stop crime, but at least we can decrease and reduce the crime violence in our communities.
So I think as a young person, even if you do not have that problem yet, you're glad to see the level of this problem, so you don't understand what it is that you would be up to if you don't do the important things to stay where you are.
Tackle the problem, because time to come, it is going to be happening. It is happening, but at a, like you can see at the rest, so with knives and food, I don't go for it, but you come and attack me with a knife later on, second. So I think we should get the positive out of it and stop thinking negative, think positive, and think of the way of moving forward.
And different people with different cultures react differently to violence.
Sure.
And in this current culture, the Canadian culture, in the olden days, the Caribbean people would have confrontation, they would have conflict. And when they would have conflict, they would use their fist and they would say, "And over there, let us settle this score." They would put a jewel together. If you with me, with me. If you don't with me, with me. When they finish the jewel, we'll tap you on the shoulder, we'll go and have a drink, and then we'll come back friends. That is changing and changing gradually.
All the possible, all the families, probably never violence in less. You know?
Yes.
All the possible in action. Like if someone is trying to wrong, you try to stop it.
But I was right here in this church here, a Wednesday night prayer meeting, and the way the big girl was, doing in the church. When the prayer meeting finished, I come right here in her ears. Nobody here. And I said, it's not the way, that's not the way to be in church. You is a big girl, you should behave better than that. And I will tell your mother about it. And somebody go and tell, she told somebody what I say. The person go and tell the mother replied, she should hit her in her face. What she have to go and worry her. So I said, I'm going to hold that mother and listen very tight and say, if you correct my child in church, it's not that I will see. Why the child will be good in my life? But they told me, no, don't tell her nothing, just leave her and beware of people's children.
Now you see now, that's why we're doing these kinds of workshops. Is there anybody in here who has corrected somebody else's child and they didn't cuss at you? They may have thanked you or others. Anybody corrected somebody else's child and you didn't get a negative response? Yes, one. Okay, tell me what happened. Tell me what happened, tell me how you approached it and how you end up succeeding in correcting the child without having a problem. Tell me about it.
Okay, child is doing something wrong, I don't come like to the child that the child is doing something wrong, like in your face.
Did you hear what she said? She said, first of all, a child is doing something wrong. I'm not coming at the child like you're doing something wrong in your face. I'm not coming at offending the child, right? That's the first thing she said. Go ahead.
Right. Then I would approach the child and say, hey, tell the child who you are. You know, you are such a child. Why do you think that that's the way that you should be doing it? You know, a child then the child look and say, I'm a beautiful person, but my action is not beautiful. You know? And most of the children are like, you know, oh, you know, miss you, they get me upset, you know, and they just calm down and, you know, they tell you why they get me upset and I just say it, you know, or something like that. Most of the time, that's the reaction I get.
Okay, now listen to this. That's very important. We're going to break these things down.
One guy bleeding in.
Cut him?
Cut him. And he's decided going to cut him back. And then my brother was sitting with me, we were talking. And we noticed like he gearing up and he firing his cutlass. And so when he decided to really, the fellow was just passing around to our yard. And he was going, you know, really determined to knock him off. My brother stood up and he said, what? Let me tell you. Who going to lose? Look at the fella you want to hit back. You going to lose. That fella have nothing to lose. Because what he don't even working. He already on job. Now when you do that to him, the police is going to have him. See what you're going to lose. You're going to lose your van. You're going to lose all the banana trees you planted. You're going to lose your boats. And you'll be in the prison doing what? You're wasting your life away. And then, you know, the cutlass just jump up and he say, boy, you're a good Samaritan. And you know, I really felt like, you know, my brother standing up and just those words, what? Who going to lose? Does it worth it? And then, you know, everything just go. And I still think that the person is still living on with who going to lose.
If I knew you that, because you remember you meet me or you told me something, if I knew you that, what will be cause later or what will be the problem, there is more violence, right? If I need to have, then somebody will try to hit me because I hit you, right? So in my opinion, I see it's best to sit down and solve your problems between ourselves. Who were right and who were wrong.
Well, we need your help. Because a lot of people get to be 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years and they never get that. How young are you?
19.
You're 19 years old. You are the age when they say the black man is disposable, that the black man is a waste, that the black man is a problem. And what we're hearing that you're a black man as a solution. So we need to multiply you.
So many times women are being beaten by boyfriends, by husbands, and the neighbors, the people in the community will see those things and listen to the shout, but not one person will intervene and try to put peace. Maybe if someone or the community will see as, this is my responsibility. My neighbor, I should love my neighbor as my friend. It would make a difference in the community. They could have better children and a better home. So I would like to see that people intervene when women are being abused, and even men, because men are being abused. And I want to thank the policemen in my community because I have gone to them on several occasions. And they have come to speak to my children as a dad. The way that I know them and my husband was able to talk to my children, they were able to help us in this way. And I just want to thank them for this.
I just like to say that policemen, they are supposed to put peace and law and order. And sometimes you may see police officers as people who and they are there drinking alcohol and they may use indecent languages and they just make you think and wonder, and they're supposed to be being good and being examples to us, and they may be in the wrong shops and whatever, drinking and getting on in a bad way. So I'd just like to say that they should be reminded that they are there to be examples and that they should be cautious in what they do.
I was about to say something and he said, you know, when my daughter spoke about police drinking and, you know, you told her that she could help too, you know, I was about to say that perhaps you should have been at their humans, you know, they were socialized too, and even so that they get over, you know, by drinking too much, so you have to know how to approach them to be nice. But another thing, I know the police tonight is saying that we are on their backs, and perhaps they're saying I should not be here, what am I doing here, boy? But it is good for you because what is happening here now is just helping you to help yourself.
If we go in police concept is implementing the way something, it will change the way police can approach. This evening we were traveling, my wife, yesterday and myself, coming from up here. On arriving at Pompase, about 5:30, we saw a vehicle stop on the side of the road, and a little boy about 10 years. He seemed to have been alone at Pompase. And he had the presence of mind, perhaps, to stop a vehicle, and the vehicle stopped. We stopped and looked, and the boy must have spoken to the driver, and the driver opened the door and looked at him. But what could that young boy be doing? 10 years. Tomorrow he disappears and you hear parents crying. Is that a police responsibility? Is it a parent responsibility? Whose responsibility it is for us to nurture that child? One more example. Yes, ma'am.
Well, the guys were drinking together, and the alcohol took over them. One hit another one with a bottle, but then some other guys came from somewhere and held the guys back and separated them.
Okay.
This session here tonight is timely because what we need to do, if I'm to use the military terminology, is to arrest the evil that is creeping in slowly. There is something that we refer to as the deceptiveness of the gradual. And so everybody feels it's okay and we get complacent over the whole issue of crime and violence. Well, it's not really bad in our play, so we are at ease in Zion. But gradually it's creeping in on us. I think what we are doing here really and truly is we are speaking to the converted, but we can use this as a springboard to launch out to the ones who we really need to target. What happens here tonight is just the starting point of a tremendous initiative that I believe will redound to the saving of a generation. And be not dismayed. What you have done here tonight, in a few years from now, we will see the visible and tangible results of this super great initiative. And I just want to call upon the residents of La Plaine to let's take this thing seriously. And those of you who are on the committee, when called, let's get together and ensure that La Plaine indeed and in truth goes by what we have known in times past as a community that welcomes people as a safe community so that strangers, residents and all can indeed feel safe within the confines of La Plaine. Thank you very much.
Special for a great lady, Elizabeth Pampo Israel, you're gone but you're not forgotten. Rest in peace in the bosom of Gabriel.
Let me turn a blind eye to many of the things that we so-called call petty issues. And these things, they really blossom into bigger things down the road. You see? I would say petty issues like, let's say petty stealing or just cursing.
We'll keep your star shining.
Before, teachers were allowed to punish children, in some cases through just beating. And these days, if a teacher touch a child, it is perceived as being abused.
Especially for you, Queen Pampo.
I raised here as a boy when things was very docile, the community was very, very good, and you could speak to each other. I mean, you couldn't cuss on the road because, you know, the old lady would eat you up, and you can't go and tell your mother that. And because you get a second one. So we were raised in poverty, but we was raised with respect. We was raised with hope. I'm saying that a lot of the communities, a lot of those problems are hopelessness.
What we are talking about here is the local criminals, you know, and I think we get pleasure in doing that. But we forget basically behind that scene, and everything we're talking about, whether it's guns and this and that, you know, they are those who are dressed up in jacket and tie. 1990s, I was on my way from St. Martin and right there. There was a portion of cocaine on my boat. Alright? A portion of cocaine on my boat in 1990. I was arrested, 7 crew, and taken to the police station in Oso, and in a cell. This is very emotional to me, huh?
No problem, so go right ahead. That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Okay. There were 2 crew members who actually wrote down the affidavit, and it was consistent with their story. And the police, you know, took away that right of these 2 officers of police guys, because actually their testimony would have brought back or brought into picture the white-collar criminals. All right. Okay. But everybody was made the culprit, the victim, the scapegoat of what was going on. We begin to understand what is happening down here. All right, at Tatan. Okay, at Tatan. But what was happening at Tatan really is was a showcase. Okay, at the golf, it's a showcase. What we're experiencing today is what happened 20 years ago, today now. All right? Policemen will tell you, or people who are presently now involved in drugs will tell you that they're working for police or they're working for this. That's a fact, you know, my friend. What I was told in Barbados, it was said about you from your officers that you're the most notorious drug trafficker in Dominica.
Is that true?
Probably a policeman can testify this, society can testify.
No, from your perspective.
Is that true? No, I'm not. Don't ask me. Ask the society. Ask them. It is not only junior officers, you know. The fact about it is the white collar crime, the blue collar criminals, they are the ones who have been protected. You know, and this is subtlety of what's going on. What is happening in your area in Buffalo is no surprise. The same system is happening here. Alright? Okay? The violence in itself will come out as a result because I could react in a very crazy way. Alright? But them same policemen will in fact come to arrest me because that's what they wanted.
So what prevented you from acting in a violent way?
Forgiveness.
Huh?
Forgiveness. Forgiveness.
No. Did everybody hear what he said? Because this is a workshop.